Yo, what is up, guys? So recently Joe Rogan had Charlie Sheen on his show, and this is his experience getting sober. So let's roll the clip.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get sober this time?
I'd gotten off the drugs, gotten off the dope. But when I say dope, that's always coke, never heroin. I was never a heroin guy. I'd been off that, probably over 10 years, And so, I mean, more than 10 years, like sitting here today. So I hadn't fucked around with any of that shit for a few years. I just committed to drinking, and then found that to be like the most unmanageable drug that I've ever tried to navigate. Drinking, yeah. Drinking.
More than cocaine?
Yeah, because there's never a time when you can't get it, And when I had made the decision that I'm just going to drink, I treated it like I did drugs,
Right,
yeah.
Right.
But it's really kind of it's very accepted, and it's very socially ingrained. It's like it's
normal.
It's always Miller time.
Yeah, you want to smoke a joint in front of someone, they might be like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
You want to have a drink in front of someone, completely normal.
Sure,
Everyone does it.
Sure. Yeah. But so. I knew the way my body was starting to react and the way I was starting to feel and just I couldn't feel it how I used to, even at like really like powerful doses, I just couldn't, and that got depressing. That wasn't like I'll just drink twice as much now. That was like, damn, the thing I relied on is now just like told me, it's no.
You have too much of a tolerance now.
Our relationship is now different. Yeah, and so there was a day, and it's in the book, and I was a morning drinker. I loved spiking my coffee. That's like, for me, it was like the best time to drink. I mean, you're not going to get shit done the rest of the day, but that's when I felt it. That's when I could still feel it was in the morning, So I'm on like my third Macallan coffee or whatever, and my daughter Sam, like, calls she's at the house and calls and says, "Hey, what time are we leaving?" Like, to go where? She had a hair appointment, and it was a Sunday, I think, or a Saturday, and I've never, ever mixed the cups and the wheel, ever. I've never had a DUI. How about that?
That's awesome.
That's pretty good, right?
That's very good.
I just decided like a long time ago, like when I was like 17, that was never going to happen.
Good for you.
And I was living in a limo back then. There was, the occasional cab, but these days to get busted for drinking and driving with the available transportation that is literally 15 choices in your hand, there's no excuse.
Right.
And so I called Tony. I said, "Tony, I can't drive. You got to help me get Sam to this thing." And so he was like, I'll be right. He was there in 20 minutes. We got her to the appointment. It went great. And there was a moment in the car driving back, and I describe it in the book, and I could see her in two mirrors, the visor and the side view, and she was just kind of sitting back there, and I'm not saying that I know exactly what she was thinking, but I could feel what I'm pretty sure she was, and it was just this thing about why it's cool that Dad did this, but why isn't Dad driving again?
Right.
Why is there always
disappointment? Yeah,
and it's nothing with Tony. He's been around forever, and it was, so we got back from that, and it was, there was something that I couldn't shake. It was something that stayed with me. Just the images of her, this little 13-year-old kid in the back seat, and her dad can't even take her to like just a basic, just like up the highway to a hair appointment. Like that was complicated, Yeah. And I was like, what am I doing? And then I just sat inside. I sat inside of that for a while because it didn't feel good. And I thought, okay, what can I do to stop feeling like this? The math is pretty simple at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And, I wasn't going to do rehab. I wasn't going to do a big dramatic, life turnaround. Or I was just going to make a decision and stick to it. Mm-hmm. And, I took a few Valium, drank a few beers, and then the next day, just woke up and said I'm done and didn't care. I made a decision. I wasn't going to care how I felt physically. I was just going to
grit and bear it.
Yeah.
How long did it take before you felt okay?
About 3 days. The story I had written that was going to be a month was just like that was fake. And then it just coincidentally.
Yeah, so that's the story. Have you been through something similar? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel and let's run this up.